Okay, so we came to the decision that actually streaming needs to be better because if it's recording and the game crashes on us, we'll lose the recording. And also, if it happens on stream, it means I personally would have proof of this happening 4 times. And it's always better to have as much proof of this as possible for the forums, etc. when Cody's eventually have to sort this out. So we're going to stick with this, and hopefully it doesn't break again. But I've got no guarantees. So if you've rejoined us, thank you very much. Sorry for the constant issues we're having with the game at the minute, but it's not our fault. I know you know that, but we'll do our best to give you a show. Jacko is still here as well. We should
Hello,
have the
everyone.
grid the same way as it was before, and I just
Yeah,
please, no
so
issues. Hopefully.
basically, Owen, as he says, is streaming. I'm recording, so hopefully we get something out of this. The guys, there's no qualifying. This is straight into a formation lap, and then the 50% race. The stages are lap 8 and lap 17. They are the same order as what they qualified in on the original stream. Hopefully it works. Kawababa's left the session. Brilliant. Timer restarts itself. It's worth pointing out, if this ever goes to air, that this is a Codemasters issue, not a PlayStation issue.
This is
Every league will have its problems like this.
This has happened before, twice last week, and it happened to me and Jess. So, as you all know, it screwed us over twice, and it happened to Jacko as well this week. So it's not even that; it's just a me problem, like it has been before. It's actually just a general problem with the game. The game, it did this a lot in the beta as well, but it would the crash would finish. The big issue here, I don't mind the game crashing because you can restart the lobby. When the game's crashing and forcing you to restart your console, though, that's when it becomes dangerous. And I'm absolutely amazed that this has never cropped up when Codemasters have tested the game or tested a new update. I swear, they've gone on to the game, they've gone to time trial or something, they've recorded a bit of footage, and they've not played their product. They've just gone for a trailer and says, that'll do. And that's how they do their stuff, unfortunately, and there's nothing we can do about that. Arnold, is someone on the wrong tyre, Jacko? I feel
It has been mentioned in chat, Arnold might be.
Yeah, I think Arnold's on the wrong
But
tyre.
rather than blaming him, I've had this problem before where you go into a lobby restart, select your tyre, but it won't let you change your tyre.
Yeah, it's
so that might be a returning glitch, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt for the moment.
Yeah, well,
if he's done that on purpose, then that is a penalty.
We'll need his footage of it, of course, but just so you can get that as well.
So depending what stream goes up,
well,
whether it's the live one or R1, or my recording, then enjoy my camera angles or enjoy Owen's camera angles. It depends what you get.
If this crashes, at least we're already live. So we are live. 10 of us are in here. So if this crashes, you'll see it happen. If it doesn't, fantastic. But at least you'll definitely get as much of the race that we get. And that's all we can really give you. Back to my point then, before this race started, and at least Redmat and MK Born will be happy that this all happened, because those two are the ones that crashed on the first start and caused the whole game to crash. They are 2 of the 4 drivers on that second and third row, also Jake and Jordan being the others, who can get into the playoffs, have a very good chance of it, because if they can just get by Cam and Kyle at the front, then one of those 4 could win the race and get into the playoffs, be the 5th player straight through. And Arnold is on the back of the grid once again.
Alright, second time lucky, Owen. Yeah. It's 5 lights, and away we go in a second or 2.
Christ, sorry about this. Sorry about that. I'll take that off the screen now. Should probably have given you a bit of a seizure warning for that, but Kyle has taken the lead as we head down towards turn 1. Red Map is taking the wide line, and there's contact between Jake and Cam. As we see, still side by side. They're trying to go 3 wide for 4th place, but I think NK Bourne should hold on. It's a bit
wings flying everywhere.
Back. Definitely a massive blue wings, so we'll see if we can figure out who that is. think
possibly Pete's.
that might be Pete's. Is indeed Pete's. We have got a virtual safety car, and the graphics are no longer flickering,
And
so I can stick them back on for you. And as you can see, the
Owen,
order.
there's a slight problem. Camo Babu, I don't know if he's in control of his car
He's
or
away
not.
now, isn't he? He hasn't got.
He's on the start line.
Yeah, he's missing half his front window, isn't he? What is happening?
Yes, I noticed at the very start he pulled right over to let everyone through. But I'm not entirely sure what's happening here.
Wall.
He's going to retire.
That could bring
that'll
up
be an
full
upgraded safety car.
Yeah, that should be upgraded to safety car. Let's just see. You'll see it on the top left. But I'm not sure it will upgrade.
Might be too late after the VSC announcement for it to upgrade fully.
It's hard to notice a change if you aren't directly looking for it sometimes, but I think it is going to stay as a virtual safety car.
Does anyone pit lap 1? Kyle does, race leader.
Well,
He's followed in by Jake. Yeah. Cam bravely stays out. I respect that call.
They must be getting BSC ending on their screen then at some point, because they maybe don't think a pit stop's worth it, because I'd say a pit stop's very much worth it in this situation. But now we're still under virtual safety car. So these guys
Camo Babo in chat says the game is insane. I agree with that. But he was in control of his car, but still on the spectator menu.
What?
So work that one out.
We're green again, by the way.
Yeah,
and
we are green.
Definitely
Sorry.
racing going on. An early contact as Casper and Risky go side by side through 3, and Risky does get himself into the podium positions. The two Bens are going side by side into turn 4, and Iceman's the one who's going to come out on top there on the mediums. Casper currently the highest winner on the medium compound tyres. NK Born, when he pitted, he went for the hard compound tyres, and so.
A new Ben having a little bit of a moment for the chicane there, but just about gathers it up. Iceman can stroll away. Sorry, Owen, interrupting you.
Nah, it's okay. All good. I'm just saying red mat there is now looking good. If we try and have a go at the lead at some point, as Casper gets back past Risky. Risky's looking relatively slow as we lose OKK from this race, and that looks like an accident. Let's see if we can find him. There he is on the right hand side. You'll see on board R now. Just take a look here on the right hand side. There is the car there. Virtual safety car again. Risky has bolted for the pit lane. I wonder if he had some damage, to be honest, because he got overtaken by Casper very quickly. It was very easy. But let's see. Will there be a new front wing, or is this a tactical pit stop? It's very much tactical under the VSC. Good stuff, that. I wonder if he'll get out ahead of... Oh, is that Jake taking his last pit stop? Both under virtual safety car. That is indeed what we're seeing.
Very clever for the man that started P3.
Yeah, this could be a very clever decision, because this track is not that easy to overtake on. He'll come out ahead of a couple of cars as well. I think Jamie's in the pits, but he's only for his first stop. And we have a bit of side by side, but Kyle's the highest one stop right there. He is still looking decent position. But as we go green again, Jake has bottled it because he has sped out of pit lane. He's going to have to take another pit stop, but this time it's a drive-through, and so any cleverness of the strategy has just been thrown out the window.
Yep, so everyone on one stop now in the box seat. Kyle, the leader of those. Good question from Jess in the chat. We did touch on it just now. Is that the Will that DC'd for Camo? We don't know. He was in the spectator menu, but in control of his car. So, Jess, or anybody in chat, thank you everyone who's still with us. If you've got an answer for what happened to Camo Babo, please put it on a postcard and let us know.
Yeah.
Cam leads the race into lap 4 off the back of his win last week.
Yeah, we're going for the playoff points, I guess, because I'm sure he's probably realising now that the guys who pitted on that first lap might be on the better strategy. So if we can at least get some playoff points out of it.
He's gone for a spin.
That
no front wing.
Virtual safety car it is. We've already taken out 3 of our slots in the first 3 laps.
Well then. Is that a glitch, or is that just because of the...
No. They're all VSC worthy incidents.
They're all genuine VSCs, okay. Well then.
And it's taken up all of our slots, which I guess if you're Camo, or not, sorry, if you're Cam, maybe this is a good thing we're losing so many slots, because it means you less chance of getting caught up by a full safety car.
Yeah, so we can only have 2 of those now at this point, as ST Mats will pit. ST Mats, by the way, because of the introduction of Jake to full-time, is now 20th in the standings. He's on 9 points.
Yeah.
Go on.
Did Jake? Yeah, he tried to take his drive-through penalty, but since it's a VSC, I think he was already in the pits potentially when that VSC came out, and so that drive-through had to turn into a pit stop as we go green once again. So that's still a drive-through needed to be taken for Jake.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Who writes this stuff? But
Yeah.
who else is going to pit there? Because we're only waiting now for the top 6 to pit. Jeez, they were pitting slower last week when there was only a 25% race to get your 2 stops into. They're really rattling through the pit stops very quickly in these early stages. Something we haven't seen very often this season, in fairness, is the early VSCs, because normally you'd get a full safety car relatively quickly, but there's still time for that. It's only lap 5 as Jimmy goes diving down the inside and there's big contact with Casper. Even small contact like that could cause damage, even high, minor damage, and if we see it could affect him badly if it is there. But I think he might have got away with it.
You recall from the France race where Jamie and Casper were going at it right to the very end, and then Arnaud got involved and had contact as well with them. So is it going to be a repeat of that? Speaking of Arnaud, he is down in P13, so a lot of work to do. But I'm noticing the gap that the top 6 have. I mean, here's on board with TC on my recording. He's only just up the road from Kyle, who's here.
This is it. Well, he has the that pit stop under VSC, which he took real advantage of. And he is well and truly the net race leader by a distance. He is currently only 16 seconds behind the race leader. And so he should easily lead this race. As Cam does, though, set the fastest lap, so he's doing his absolute best
Jamie
to try
pits.
and pull a gap, as Jamie, as you say, is in the pit lane. We'll see how far Kyle is ahead of him, and that might give us some sort of indication. Maybe take 5 seconds off of whatever gap Kyle's going to have over Jamie, and that'll be the gap. That, well, you can see here, Jamie's actually going to get mugged. Oh, we haven't lost another one. Iceman's front wing's gone, and that is a 4th virtual safety car.
Yeah.
One more slot to go, folks, and then we'll be out of safety cars. All our excitement's being taken up by people losing their front wings, unfortunately. And is this causing some sort of a train? Because this might have actually helped Jamie not fall as far back through this train as he pitted, as he might well have done so. He's now sort of in the middle of this train rather than the back of it, but does anyone pick up any punctures when moving that front wing?
I was just wondering, has Catchman served his drive-through yet?
Yes, he has. He just about managed it.
Just about that time.
The poor guy. As we go green again, he's having a nightmare. He's back in the pits again. Is he? He's going
to be lapped here.
Is he giving up?
Because Cam's just coming here. Look.
He has had a shocking race. It was looking. It was looking so good. All of about 5 seconds, he was going to win the race, and now look what's happened. I think this is his 4th or 5th run into the pits now.
Yeah, Jake comes into this race.
Oh, not another
5th
one.
on points.
Arnaud's now gone for a spin. Be careful, Jamie, that you don't run into him there. But Arnaud falls down the grid a little bit. Down into
no
16th.
VSC.
No VSC.
Just yellow flags.
Yep, haven't hit the wall, luckily. Here comes Risky on MK Bourne. These guys looking good. This is technically a podium scrap we're watching. As we see
Kieran to the inside.
Kieran, yeah, mugging off almost MK Bourne, but MK Bourne was wise to. He might not have looked so, but he certainly made sure he had the better line on the exit. Jordan is fighting with Jamie, who will have a little bit more grip on his fresh mediums, and Kieran is going to get by MK Bourne as he on the way up the hill. Round the outside is a risky line. I'm imagining he'll end up being shoved off wide, and indeed he is. But Kieran, he's kept his nose in, he's kept his nose ahead, and he's up into P7. Will MK Bourne send it on the outside of the chicane? Oh, he doesn't quite have the confidence, and that'll give Jamie a real opportunity to get past as well. More contact for MK Bourne on this lap. He really is going all over the place, and another car he's put off the road, but that car,
Jordan
Jamie does get
well.
ahead. Jordan now has a look, but Jamie, did he make that overtake off the road? It looks like he must have done, because he had to let MK Bourne through.
Cam
Pitts decided not to go for the playoff point. Red Map will surely take that now, if he can get to the end of this lap, still in the race lead. But Jordan, is he going to be able to get past MK Bourne as he heads around the final corner to start lap 8? frantic stuff for MK Bourne on those hard compound tyres. Maybe he regrets going on those, I don't know. But let's see, was Jordan going to get him? Not quite.
Yeah,
DRS is
a
very much in
lot of contact during that lap, but all of it perfectly legal within the league rules. No complaints. Oh, a bit more going on here. Jordan gets past Jamie and is now on the back of MK Bourne. A little bit slidey out of 3. Get away with it. And is much more confident than MK Bourne, whose hards probably haven't warmed up yet. I respect the decision. Kieran gets a penalty. Jordan too sensible not to go for a move in the chicane here. He's going to save it for the straight. But those hard tyres will come to MK Bourne later on in the stint. Everyone can relax a little bit now because there's no red map pits. Does get the stage one.
Check here. Will he get that playoff point?
Will he?
Will be
it's
tight.
Casper.
This. I think Casper might just have taken him. Oh, I was right on the line. I think Casper might have snaked that playoff point.
It was right on the line. I'll have to go to a slow motion.
Yeah, VAR
look
on that
after
one.
the race. Yeah.
I think though it was Casper. It would have been by milliseconds though, and it would have been very tight.
Yeah.
Here comes
It'll
Jordan.
It'll be annoying for Red Matt if he's got that one wrong. That's a valuable playoff point for the postseason.
Yeah. He's fallen behind Cam, obviously, who did the undercut, so I'm sure he was going for that playoff point to try and get something out of that, but it didn't really work out. Kyle's only actually 2 seconds ahead of Cam. It's not looking too bad there. And I have slightly better tyres now.
Oh, Cam saves it out of 4. A little bit slidey. Gathers it up.
We saw Jamie there getting by MK Bourne, or trying. He got by Jordan, but didn't quite get by MK Bourne actually. I wonder if his car was lagging a bit because it did certainly do some alien movements. But look at the time he's lost now to Kieran.
Estimats.
Has he hit the wall?
He's going to pit, and that's a virtual safety car.
Well,
for
8
another
laps
front
in,
wing.
folks, and that is all of our VSCs taken up. But this could give Casper a shot at a decent position. I wonder if he'll be in the podium positions now. That's a genuine thing. Let's see. As he makes his first stop of the day.
Kyle, Cam and Red Matt are all here in the final turn.
TC, of course, gets
Red Matt pits. Red Matt pits. This is tactical.
Yeah, it'll take a second stop. I have a feeling Casper will possibly be in a decent position now because of this. As Red Matt sped in the pit lane, that'll be an even better position. And yeah, Casper's gained out of this, but it's our last VSC. Let's see, Red Matt. He's taking the 5 seconds now at least, and it's all being taken on the VSC, so it's not as painful as it would have been. It's more like a 2-second penalty, As we go green, Jordan has sped. That's a real shame for him as he was fighting away. Jamie's got past TC, and now it looks like Ben. Oh, he's into the side, and they're both being sent off the road. Really just too aggressive, but they've escaped without any accident.
Pete round the outside of Ben into turn 4. He's going to do it. Ben backs out. Sensible and wise. Season 1 champion. All over that. Replicating what his teammate Risky did back in Season 1 as well. When he went around the outside of Thomas.
I thought Red Matt had taken this penalty. I wonder if he was actually just in a pit garage that was being stacked then. Because it says he still has the penalty. He certainly had a slow stop. Let's check how slow his stop was. I didn't think there was a front wing being changed or anything. The team weren't doing anything. We're going to check that. Pit stops. You'll see it for yourself. His pit stop was 8.4 seconds, Red Matt, and there was no front wing to change. Surely he took his 5-second penalty, but the game says he hasn't. I wonder if he'll be able to dispute that. Because he's taken both of his pit stops, so he could theoretically say, I took the penalty, and the game hasn't taken it off me yet. That'll be something for the stewards potentially to look at. Because luckily we caught that for him on stream.
The unfortunate, if the stream survives, the unfortunate thing is that because of the restart of the lobby, we no longer have access to TAS in this race, so we can't even check it like that for him.
Well, luckily we do have a tab in the race director for pit stops that would tell us at the very least, well, look, he had an 8.4 second pit stop with no front wing change. That's a bit dodgy. And that's what happened. So,
yeah, I've still got Camo Babo running around in P17 on TAS, so that shows how far out that is.
It's not working, is it? But, yeah. I wonder if Red Matt can dispute it. We'll find out later on, because he's on a really good strategy, which could give him a race of lead. Maybe not the win, because he'll be on hard till the end, and that's difficult. No safety cars now, of course, can be deployed, so it's pretty much a normal race. Cam is closing in now on the DRS here of Kyle, and he will not get it this lap, but should get it next lap. And he looks very much the faster driver, and you would expect that on 6-lap newer tyres. But if Cam can take a second victory in 2 weeks, it would be very impressive for him, because it would certainly already be championship lead, but with 2 wins on the board, a real statement.
I think if he can do that, then it makes him one of the championship favourites, doesn't it?
I think he would have been one of the favourites anyway, just how consistent he is. I mean,
on consistency, yes, but it doesn't mean an awful lot in JACKOCAR, does it? So,
well,
he's proven he can win a race now, and now if he can prove he can win twice, I think it puts him in better stead for the championship running, knowing that he can achieve that. 25 and 50% races. Casper, 3-second penalty.
Coutinho, having a look at MK Bourne. MK Bourne's hard tyres are a bit older now, but they still don't seem to be having much grip even against new hards, so I don't think he'd be liking his choice of compounds here. I guess he could have a go at softs at the end, but I don't think this is working. Let's go to see Cam though, on the back of Kyle for the race lead. You can see the DRS is being used now. That rear wing is very much being opened, and he'll get 2 doses of that, one in towards turn 1 and one in towards turn 2.
Kyle went wide into turn 1 as well there, Owen. I don't know if you caught that.
Certainly we'll be looking now to see Cam in his rear view mirrors, and just trying to think about where he's going to place his car. I mean, if you go a little wide at turn 1, you can get a bit of a slingshot into 2, maybe even just practicing his defensive lines, you never know. Yellow flag, don't quite know what that's for. Everyone seems to be going in the right direction.
Batch of cars with J. Luke and Arnold in it.
Yeah, but they all seem to be going again, so whatever the issue was, it was resolved before we even knew there was a problem. TC though is all with MK Bourne, and he had contact on that VSC restart, and he's going to get by Coutinho. Well. That was not a controlled car really for Coutinho. Might get away with that, but I don't think that would have left TC very impressed. Well, look. Now, we are side by side through front wing damage for Pete. That's what's causing that yellow earlier on, as Arnold now gets past Bennett, just past him there now. Arnold as well, and a little bit of contact on the way through. That's going to help his mood.
What about Jamie at the inside?
That's crazy, absolutely crazy. That doesn't work.
That's a bad man.
Kieran is passing Risky. Cal, not quite close enough to Cal for a move just yet, but I think he is definitely the fastest car out there in terms of the fight for the lead. Arnold now is trying to get by Ben, and he's into the back of him. Could be minor damage. Obviously no task to help this time, but here comes Arnold. Late move to the outside of 2, and Ben is keeping his nose in. There's contact again, and he'll get a switch back through 3 now, but has a bit of a slide halfway through. But so does Arnold, and we have a couple of cars off. We've got 2 cars out of the race. A
Jordan
car.
threads the needle, and a safety car. Yeah, wow. Jordan went right through the middle of those 2. TC and Coutinho has an accident waiting to happen as well.
Well, that's a relief, isn't it? I thought we wouldn't have any chance at a safety car, but what was that, our 6 different safety cars slot on the race now? They're endless.
Jordan gets a penalty. Let's put Red Matt back in contention.
Well, this is it. He's very much in contention, especially if that 5-second penalty has a chance to be removed. I'd say he might have a good case for that.
Jamie in chat saying you're better than that, Pete. Oh dear.
Coutinho just question marks in the chat. That's gone well.
We missed it, sadly.
Yeah. Well, considering where they were, it certainly seemed like a dodgy one to have an accident halfway down a straight. Doesn't happen too often. Mind you, Coutinho, not the first time he's been involved in an accident in a DRS zone, is it? He's had that a couple of times this season, so maybe that's just his thing. But as you did say, very much helping Red Matt, this safety car. He is, I believe, still the highest 2-stop runner, but he's in the hards, which aren't that quick, and won't be quick against softs or mediums at the end. Penalties with Casper, Kieran and Risky are going to really hinder them as well, because they're right in this fight for the win now, but they'd have to hope that the top two get penalties. NK Bourne's picked up a penalty under safety car, something which when I see, I can't believe they let that happen, but, well, I've done it before as well, in fairness. You never realise how quickly you'll pick up the warnings when you suddenly feel, oh, there's a safety car train, and I'm nowhere near it.
Sorry, Owen, I was just looking at ST Mats. I don't know if he had more wing damage. I don't think he does. It's just the black front wing.
Yeah,
it's
black
deceiving.
Wing, isn't it? So only 4 drivers then have made all their mandatory stops, and they are Red Matt, Pete, Jake, and ST Mats. At least Jake has a chance to get back in the race because he's not lapped, but ST Mats, geez, that is a disaster for him, isn't it?
Is Jake not lapped? I thought he was.
I don't think he is. I think he's absolutely catching the train. Yeah, he's... Oh, Ben and Arnold. Front wing damage, but not enough for a pit stop if you're Ben. That's a major disappointment for him.
Owen, here's an interesting one for you. Thomas, he said he'd come out of the pits and the game gave him a drive-through.
Did it?
That's what's in chat.
Well, we can obviously have a little look for him. I didn't see anyone get a drive-through penalty. Yeah, he did. He got a speeding under BSC, as did MK Bourne. That's why MK Bourne is so far down the field. And then obviously we saw Jordan's as well. So they all came up at the same time. Now, we only saw Jordan's one, which was the last one of them to pop up. So that's where those penalties have come from. They've almost just got them at the same time. We only saw one of them.
Interesting. What a mess.
No.
Somebody told me last week, why is Hungary on the calendar? It's boring.
That is definitely our 6th safety car / virtual safety car slot, isn't it? I've never seen this before. We've never had so much carnage. Or sorry, it's not even carnage. It's just minimal accidents per night BSCs. But,
you know what, Owen? I was in a 25% TGP race the other day. So you should be limited to 2 safety car periods. We had 3.
Yeah. Maybe we just don't... In fairness, have they ever actually explicitly said what the limit is? Or are we just guessing?
Well, it was always 2, 5...
And 6.
And 7.
Or 7.
Or 6 or 7 for a 100% race. But this is now 6 for a 50% race. And like I say, I've seen 3 in a 25% race, so... We'll never know.
The team news only just worked out that ERT Thomas is TC. That's a bit of an awkward conversation. But safety car is in this lap. And Kyle, hopefully he's been reading the rules, etc.
Well, Kyle, one of the best restarters in the league. He should know what he's doing by now.
Remember, 2 grid rows behind the start-finish line. That's when you can go. In other words,
that's right now.
Here. And he's away, but I tell you what, Cam's away better. And there's a lot of side-by-side action behind as well. This could get quite tasty into turn 1. You'd think it was a whole new start. As down the inside goes Cam for the race lead. Will he get the exit? A little bit slidey for me. Will we see him emerge ahead? No. Perhaps Casper has a little chance. We've got Jamie, who has no penalties, remember. Steaming his way through the field. He's up to 4th place. Having a really decent restart. I think there's a car off, was there? Couldn't quite tell, but Kieran's falling down the field, so he might have had a little moment. That might have been what we saw there. And Red Matt's still up there in P9, but remember, he doesn't have to stop again. Oh, not him again. Again, we've seen a car crash out of the race, but you'll notice he's not retired. That car's not retired yet.
He's retired on my screen.
No, not on my screen. His tyres are gone, granted, but his name is very much not greyed out yet, and that'll be why we're not getting another safety car, because that should be safety car.
Yeah, no, Owen, he's greyed out on my screen, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm watching on board with him, and you can all see this on stream. I'm not making it up. I wouldn't be able to look at him if he was greyed out.
I'm watching your stream as well, I can see that.
Yeah.
But on my screen, he's gone. As MK Bourne makes a move on Pete. Sorry, Ben.
Yeah, this just another example of how good this game is, isn't it, really, Jacko? I mean, he's still...
Its consistency is unrivaled.
Is Casper going to have a look at Cam? Because this might pressure Cam to start looking at trying to pass Kyle properly to him, because it's gonna cause problems. That a few more pit stops are going on. 5-second penalties being taken by R9 at the very least. I don't know who else is having penalties taken. There's a lot of flickering graphics going on. What the hell is happening? What the hell is happening? What the hell is happening? Everyone's driving down the pit lane backwards, and they've all been respawned back on the track. Folks, I think this might be the end of the race. For me anyway. Thank Christ you're recording this, Jacko, because this is absolutely... Risky's the race leader now. Yellow's
I still have a true race order on my screen. It's Kyle from Cam and Casper.
It was all SD Matz's fault. Everyone just started driving backwards down the pit lane.
I was watching my screen. I looked to the right, and everyone's driving backwards down the pit lane.
Oh, accident.
There's a car off. Is it MK Born? It's not. It's Jake.
A lot of black cars, isn't there, tonight? But this was the one that went off. And with green again. Kyle pitting. So that means Cam won't get DRS now. Casper, though, will maybe pass it before DRS detection point gets reached, and this might mean that Cam can get DRS on the next lap. Let's see.
Kyle stayed out to pick up the lap 17 playoff point as well.
Yeah.
But Casper all over Cam right now. Finland versus America. It's like ice hockey. Just with less pucks and more wheels.
Well, we say that. Let's see how much falls off this car when they go side by side.
Casper to the outside!
Casper's going for it. He's all over that big curb though, and I think Cam had to really get out of it there, but Casper has overtaken him. He's into the lead. Ben is facing backwards, and he's slowly recovering. Don't overheat the tyres. You'll spin again, my friend, but he has seemingly got it going again. And still at the back, but we've seen now that safety cars can come out infinite times. So perhaps he'll get another safety car to get him back in the running. But Cam must have really had to back out at 4. I wasn't sure if there was any contact between the two. But, well, Cam outside the DRS zone now as well. Casper is making this race for himself. I must be saying, this is a really, really good run for him.
I don't think there was contact, but just high speed nature of the corner, isn't it? At turn 4. It looks worse than it is as J-Luke pits now. And other Jamie is P3. He's still in this.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely in this race. Jamie having a really strong run. We'll see where J-Luke comes out though. Might sneak into that gap between Kyle and the pack of black cars, Risky and Iceman. Let's see. Because if he gets in that gap, he might be on for a nice undercut, but I don't think he will. As Iceman and Risky, they're fighting away, look, you see. That's the problem. As Jamie tries to get there, he didn't even manage one of them, sadly. Oh! That's not a ghosted car. That's a car not ghosted, and that's what's causing this incident. And I'm trying to work out whose car that was. I know Jamie's out of the race, but someone had a moment. I think Casper! It's Casper's had the moment. Has he got any damage? I know, but he has lost the lead. So Casper...
Has he had a half spin at turn 5, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's what's happened there. And Jamie has just run into him. And so Cam retakes the lead of the race. On lap 20. Will he maybe take this as a cue to pit? No, he decides not to because he has a nice gap now, you know. And Casper's staying out there. This might hold this group up for a little bit. Because I think they all probably have to slow down somewhat, and you can see how much Casper is weaving to try and not get done here by Kieran, but we didn't see what happened there. But I think Casper's had a moment up the hill, and it's cost Jamie, who's just had nowhere to go.
Yeah, news in from Jamie, three messages, shit game, absolutely shit, and then put a little throttle in on the exit, and there it goes. So I don't know if he's had his own moment reacting to Casper, judging by that, or if he's hit Casper.
We could have bleeped that, couldn't we?
No.
Even I don't smile.
My league. I do what I want.
Fair enough.
It's not made for kids, by the way.
I would say professionalism has gone out the window, really, with who makes the game in the first place, I suppose.
Professionalism never existed since day one, come on.
Yeah, well, that's a good point, isn't it? Jamie there's got ahead of Risky in the end, but I think he probably lost a little bit of time with that outlap. He has set a purple first sector, but I mean the undercut might still work, but he's just a long way behind Kyle now. It would have been maybe a second or two closer if this had worked.
Also says he didn't see Casper have a moment, so he must have been at the next corner.
Might have been turn 5 then, because I thought I saw a green car at turn 5, and I thought that's a,
yeah.
That's a bit. I was thinking that's a bit further on. Yeah, I thought Kieran. I thought it was Kieran as well, but then I thought no, that can't make any sense. So it might have actually been two isolated incidents then. But well, Cam's in the pits now. Anyway, let's see what he comes out. Kyle has had free air this whole time, so he should be a couple of seconds clear here. Will Iceman get in Cam's way like he did with Jamie? Yes, he will. Jamie, though, doesn't quite get ahead. And that's what happens when he got stuck behind Risky for that one lap. That's probably what that's cost him, that position ahead of Cam. But it does mean that Kyle now looks pretty comfortable in the lead, going for his, second victory of the season.
Yeah, because he won somewhere else.
Yes.
I forget the track. It wasn't Britain, like he's won the last two seasons.
Japan, wasn't it? Japan?
No.
Was it? I actually don't remember. I thought it was Japan because he's the one who gained big time out of the. That's it, because Arnold had the penalty and it was Kieran who was going to win that race, and Kyle.
Kyle won
Kieran
Japan.
Spun.
He won Japan and 2 second places at the Britain races.
He is on good form, isn't he?
And that leaves him third on points, 1 point behind Cam and Arnold.
No, let's see.
74 to their 75s.
Let's see if Redmap then, who remember is going to the end, can carve his way through and into the lead in a good enough time, because we've got 13 laps to go and he's got about 10 seconds to Kyle. He might be able to hold that gap if we don't get any more safety cars, but he needs to make sure he has a 5-second gap. That's the bigger problem here. So he could win the race if he's got grounds to remove that penalty, but let's see. Yes.
Pete, despite his problems, is currently sat in net P2.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, isn't it? I forgot about him. Yeah, well, he lost his front wing end plate when that VS, or was it when the full safety car came on, actually, wasn't it? He was in the pits changing the front wing. So, sorry, Pete, I did forget you existed. So, actually, he's also got a penalty. What size of penalty has he got? He's also got 5 seconds. So, actually, the situation is still the same. It's just that Pete's in here. So, all my analysis was still correct. It's just that Pete might also steal it from...
Factor in at some point, yeah.
Yeah.
14 runners left, and of course points go all the way down to 20th, but you have to finish. So 14th place will get you 3 points. Nobody scoring 2 or 1 today.
So there's 2 green cars, by the way. Casper and Kieran are the only 2 now left to pit in this race for a second time. They'll be looking for a VSC or something to do that in. They'll be going for softs. They should be pretty quick when they go for them, so they could be pretty rapid at the end. Shame about their penalties.
I've just been sent a YouTube link by Camo Babbo. I'll watch it after the race, but it's me driving in spectator mode at the start of the race.
Yeah, I feel honestly tonight needs documented properly. Just every single glitch we had tonight, and just show people, because we've got to do one hub tomorrow, and I don't really feel like streaming that's a good idea at the moment.
Now, one hub that's a much more professional league than us.
I know we can make these glitches look funny, but if it happens there,
that's
big problems.
That's a bad night in for the likes of Nick and the admin team over at the Purple League. Kieran goes wide.
Yep. Will Pete be able to take advantage of that? Is that a sign that Kieran's tyres might be having their last run? Because they're 21 laps old at the end of this lap. But he's still going. Not very quickly, but he's going. As Pete does pass, he will get by for P3. But no, let's say, for one hub, these types of problems are serious. We don't want to let them down, obviously, but if this game crashes again at the end of this race, then I might have to can it for tomorrow. But we'll see, hopefully. Hopefully we get ourselves sorted. I really hope this doesn't crash, because it's something that I really need, just for my own sanity. because it's a good race system. We're going to need to be able to see an order at the end of it. I'm sure someone in the lobby will be able to get the order, but hopefully as it stands, it's all working. Apart from the cars driving backwards, that was funny. But, yeah. We've actually lost 6 cars in this race. You wouldn't think we've lost that many, despite the 6 safety car slots being taken up.
We've lost a lot of front wings, though.
Yeah.
SD, probably half of those. Pete, 25% of them, and the rest to everyone else. I think Ben's been through a couple of front wings this evening, hasn't he?
Hard to tell. Been a few of them now. The first 4, or it might have been all 5 VSCs actually were front wing related. So that was a bad run.
That was an awful run. No, a run I've never seen, actually.
Yeah.
Not like
Never
that.
seen that before in this league
I've seen the VSC glitch before, where like it will intermittently come out every lap and a half.
Yeah.
But they were genuine VSCs, and awful run, as you say.
So Kieran then, on the soft, like we said. Let's see what his pace is going to be like. Casper will be a little bit ahead of all this, but I think he might have a chance of being ahead of Risky when he makes his stop. And so we'll be watching Casper coming through from 8th to see how high, but we'll see. Kieran will get the first indication of how these soft tires will be at the end. Arnaud, a lowly 10th. I don't think he's going to be pulling any heroics today, but he doesn't really care. He's got his race win now. A race win that looked so difficult. It actually came in relatively simple circumstances last week in the second Silverstone race, but up till that point, it had looked like the most impossible task.
You know what? I heard from a couple of people that now he's got his win, surely he can press on now and go and win 3 or 4 more. Maybe tonight is an exception, an off night, but will this take that momentum away that he just picked up last week and put him back in the same rut that he was in the first five races of the season?
It is a good point, isn't it? I mean, we hope his rut doesn't return, because obviously we love seeing new champions, and he is not a champion yet, and it'd be a shame to see someone with his pace not end up getting rewarded for it. I mean, because the thing is, if you keep not winning, it means that by the time you get to the Championship 5, you might not be quite ready. But, yeah. It might just be an off night. We know how quick he is, so.
Yeah. To be fair, he wasn't helped by a wheel disconnection in qualifying.
No.
Dropping him to 19th and then 20th with a disqualification. He's normally, if he's not pole, it normally means Red Mat's pole, but if Red Mat's pole, then Arnold is at worst second.
Yeah.
That seems to be the way it works out. But look at Jake, P12, still running. He's going to collect points just by running. So, awful start, awful first 6 laps for him, but, you know, he's going to get, what, 5 points for finishing now?
Yeah. Well, it's better than nothing, I guess.
He come into this race on 53 points, which is 6 points clear of Mike, and Mike is only 1 place ahead of him up the road.
Just on the mysterious accident between Tino and TC. It might have been because of an MK-born spin, or losing it on the throttle. I can't tell. One of the drivers lost it on the throttle into Patino, and it caused all 3 to go off. Speaking of going off, Kieran has lost his whole front wing, and there's an incident with
and Risky behind him, yeah.
But Risky hasn't
Those
got
two,
damage.
They've come together before, haven't they?
Yeah, it's a weird one, that.
More than once as well.
Casper in the pits, that's who I was watching, but that means Casper now comes out P7, so I don't have to worry about those 2 anymore. So, yeah, that was a weird one.
Oh, Kieran goes off. Puncher, front right.
Oh, no. Fun fact, if you get a puncture on this game, whatever you do, don't do flashbacks, because if you do enough flashbacks, that rubber will go off the wheel and it'll start glitching like mad. I mean, it's fun to look at for 5 minutes, but then you realise that this game's been coded so badly that punctures turn into massive, like, curtains draping along the side of your car. It's a really funny image, but luckily online they work, and that's about the only thing that does work online. But
I've just had
just try to
communication from an old friend of ours, Mr. Christiansen, former driver of the 76 car, Dexter.
My boss at ERT.
Your boss at ERT, and mine, saying that. MK and Vitinho come together on the exit of turn 1, and TC got caught up in between them. And after that, I don't know if you caught it, but Jordan threaded the needle between all three. And, you know, it could have been a 4-car pile-up.
Yeah, well, luckily it wasn't, because then that would have really been a mess, wouldn't it? But, yeah, looks like Kieran's going to get back, but you can see there just how much a puncture costs someone. It's going to end up with a time nearing the 2-minute mark, rather than the 1 minute 20s, but... Oh, well, he's made it back at least, but will he lose a lap? Might lose a lap. And I don't know if you can get any more safety cars. You might genuinely be on the limit now. But
Kyle, by the way, now into the window.
Yeah.
Of P1. And Cam not far behind the podium, even though he's running in P4.
I think Kieran will go out down, so... Yeah, well... Might help the top 2 if Kyle doesn't beat him out. Which he doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't?
And that's obviously Kieran on the fresh softs. Oh, he's letting him through.
Kieran doesn't have to get out of the way, but he does.
Well, that makes it a lot easier for Kyle then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I just said he's within the 5 seconds of Pete, but not red mapped is Kyle. And we only have 6 laps to go. So he actually is still red matte leading the race. On track and on the penalties, but with the tyres, I do think it's only a matter of time. But still, worth pointing out that if anything happens to Pete, it could slow down Kyle. Especially if Kieran sits there in the slipstream as well as Kyle. That'll really annoy Kyle. That might distract him quite a bit, because Kieran will be a second or 2 faster lap. He might have to repass him. I think he will. Because he can't go round this slowly, Kieran. He can't just keep catching up.
There's a fastest lap available for him, isn't there?
He can't just sit there.
Yeah, you've got to take your playoff points when you can.
Sure, be a bit more sporty. Like, I understand it, and it's fair enough, but you can't just sit there all day. Maybe he done it on purpose, though, to get the DRS. Because he now has a full tank of ERS, and now he's using his DRS. And he'll get a second dose of that. But it'll certainly be slowing Kyle down this. It might be in the wake, the dirty air. It can cause problems.
It can.
And what's worse is that I don't know if Casper's going to have the same sort of pace as... He'll have, the same pace as Kieran. He's only got 2 cars in between himself and Kyle. Mind you, it's a 6-second gap, so probably won't catch him. But we're pointing out that becomes a factor in the last lap. Could cost Kyle some time, because... He's actually not made any time
off. Jamie's out. He's not out.
Oh.
Jamie just hit the wall coming out of turn 4.
Lucky
He had a massive crash. Has he got away with that?
Well, I don't think he cares.
No front wing.
He's still in the race, though points are vital. And he might still end up in the top 10 as well if he gets back to the picks quick enough. But let's see. Is Kyle closing? Not really. He's not even going to get DRS on the back of Kieran. His ERS is quite low. Red Matt's is a lot higher.
Now,
Could Red Matt win this?
You're telling me Red Matt may contest that 5-second penalty? I didn't see it. Or is that a separate 5-second penalty?
It could be a separate 5-second penalty. That's the other thing I'm considering. It's just all I was saying. Let's see. He picked up... No, he only picked up the 1. It's all I was saying was that he pitted and he was held. You can see it for yourself and watching it on screen now.
Oh, hang on, yeah.
Yeah, he has a...
I see that.
Right, and he has an 8 point... Where is it? Has an 8.4 second pit stop on lap 10. And when did he get the 5-second penalty? He must have got it afterwards, right? That must be what's happened. No, we got it on lap 9.
For speeding?
He got it on lap 9 for speeding.
In the pit lane?
Yeah. And so I thought he took that 5-second penalty in the pit lane, because he then stopped for 5 seconds and had his pit stop.
Gap to leader 5.1
for
Kyle. So, he's outside.
He's closing now. This is it. That's closing from 5.5 at his time last lap. But then he has a slide or a mistake, and it costs him. The issue, of course, is now that Casper is rapidly caught up. And Casper will catch Kyle, I think. And that might cost more time. Mind you, Kieran...
Casper has a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, I know. But he'll slow Kyle down. Potentially. Yes. And that's what I'm thinking now.
Kieran's caught up to Pete.
That's the other thing I was going to say. Kieran is now caught up, because that's just the example of how quick the tires are. So that's why I'm saying Casper might well be there on the final lap. It'll need still quite a gargantuan effort, I'll give it that, but still he might just get there. Kyle's effectively out of ERS. This might be Red Matt saving grace, because that gap's about to dip under the 5 seconds any moment now. And there it goes. So yellows is a car off. Must be risky, is it? Oh no. Who is it? MK Bourne. Will he get collected? Because here comes Jake. Not quite. That gap is fluctuating between 5.0 and 4.9, and here's why. Because Kyle is catching up into Risky. Look at this. Kyle's really being held here by Risky. Really badly being held. Look at him. He's all over the back and losing time all the time. And this is another guy on the soft compound tyres.
And Owen, don't forget how Team Speed are known for their tactics on track. Risky may well be a lap down, but he knows he's got 2 teammates, 1 and 2 at the moment.
Yeah.
He won't do anything stupid, so he'll let Kyle go. But he's held up enough, you know, that's 2 or 3 tenths there.
He's gone wide as well, Kyle.
Oh, yeah, and Risky can come back through.
Fighting him away. Look at this.
Allow him to do this.
Yeah.
He can do this.
He's got more grip. There's contact. And that's going to slow Kyle down even more because he can't get ahead. The race win is falling away from Kyle. And all this time, Casper, is he going to be able to catch up in the end? He might just run out of time. But Risky is doing the job for his teammates. Yeah. And it's absolutely allowed, as Jacko says.
This is where we vary from your traditional Formula 1 leagues. Kyle's got no grip out of the chicane.
Yeah, that's really hindered him, hasn't it? But that might just be Risky's inherent pace on new softs, making Kyle look slower. Red Matt has got to put every single % of that ERS into this final lap, which is about to start now, because he's got to make sure that Kieran, 1, doesn't catch him, 2, doesn't slow him down. Kyle is now 7 tenths behind what he needs, and I'm not. He is going to get DRS though.
And he is going to get DRS. 1 to go here in Hungary, and Red Matt, he's been on the fringes of race wins in the past. Well, since he started the season, basically.
Oh,
this is going to be his best opportunity.
Big move for Kyle, who forced his way down the inside and is fighting back, and he's managed to get ahead. Now he's got 6 tenths to make. That was a ballsy move from Kyle. Can he make the half a second?
Oh, this isn't over, Owen. It's going to go to the wire. Risky backs out of a move at turn 4. Like I said, he shouldn't do anything stupid here. But the gap is 0.5, 0.4 at the moment for the win.
He only has to find 4 more tenths. And like I say, Kieran is closing in on Red Matt. That might have the race leader sweating, hoping he doesn't get caught. Will he be distracted? 3 tenths the gap, and it's so close. Kyle is absolutely flying. Can he close the gap? As we see Red Matt coming round the last 2 corners, he can resist the gap from Kieran. But can he actually get out of the final corner? He hasn't really used all that ERS, has he? But he's crossed the line, and will he win this race? I think he will. He's won the race. He's going through to the playoffs. Red Matt has done it. Just by 3 tenths of a second. It was making that second pit stop so early that paid out in the end. And 25 laps later on those hard compound tyres, Red Matt's won the race.
Like I was saying at the start of that lap, he's been on the fringes for quite some time now, since the start of this season. He's had the pace, it's not happened for him, but tonight it's prevailed, and he can argue that penalty, but it doesn't matter because he's won it on track.
That was a good race, wasn't it, in the end? Good ending.
It was, actually.
Good,
worth waiting for.
Ending. And I'll tell you what, Risky will be getting some sort of epic bonus from the team bosses over at Speed there, because he won that race for his teammate. I think you can say it's fair to say that. Held Kyle
100%.
up perfectly at the end there and did the job. And I'm just
And there's
hoping
no
the game
argument
doesn't...
that is in the league rules as well. He can do that.
Jacko! It hasn't
It's worked.
crashed! Oh, thank
my
Christ
God.
for that. For the first time in 4 races, technically, we haven't had it crash. Arnold still gets drive of the day, for some reason, but I'm sure you'll be able to vote for someone better. No offence, Arnold. But the race winner then, what a strategy he pulled off, and the 5-second penalty, thank goodness it didn't end up affecting it, because he had that slow pit stop anyway. It must have been for stacking with his teammate or something, I don't know what it was, but it hasn't cost him the victory in the end, luckily. And Red Matt is going through to the playoffs.
And as well is the 3rd closest winning margin we've ever had in the Cup Series.
So the order: Red Matt, Kyle, Pete, Cam, Casper, Iceman, Arnold, Jake, Jamie and Jordan. Then we have NK Born, Ben, the last finishers on the lead lap. Then you've got Risky and Kieran, the 2 guys that were causing a bit of chaos with Kyle at the end. And then the long list of retirements: Jamie, SD Mats, TC, Vitinho, KK and Camo Babo. And that does end our race.
Jake stolen a P8 out of that as well.
Wow, he got the safety car, didn't he? He really needed it, didn't he? But, well...
5 stops and a drive-through. Not bad.
Well, I failed attempted
limitation.
a drive-through, of course, as well. It really was not going his way. But,
No.
got there in the end. And so that does end round 7 of the championship. Took us a bit longer to get there. Sorry about that, as I say. We can't really do much about the game's issues. But, hopefully, when we go to Italy next week, we should have a bit of an easier time of it, I hope.
And,
our last race before the break.
That's throwback week as well.
And of course, throwback week. Become the tradition. Very much looking forward to it once again, of course. Plenty of good livery templates on this game, so hopefully we will get some cracking redesigns and a good race, of course, as well. But that will do us for round 7 of season 4 of the JACKOCAR Cup Series. We'll be back next week, the last one, like we say, before our 2-week break. And so, cheers for watching. Thank you for coming back. Sorry about the various issues. Hope you find the pit lane incident funny though. That was quite entertaining. And we shall be back next week. So, safe travels and all that good stuff. And take care. If I can end the stream, of course. It's lagging now. It's typical, this. But anyway, safe travels anyway.